Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. I'd like to give an update on my gardening, my raised metal bed gardening. Uh, I'll take a walk backwards here and start at the front of the yard. I have my seedlings. I have some squash here, butternut squash, zucchini, my leftover onions. I already planted onions. I don't know if I'm even going to use any of those. Got a couple of eggplants left over. Got a bunch of tomato plants here still. I'm gonna definitely have extra of those. I got some peppers here, some more peppers that gotta be up potted. I got my Egyptian walking onions here. This is first season. I planted these in the fall time last year. There's about 50 of them in there. So that should be enough to get started in that kind of project. They're a perennial, so they'll come up every year, and they can be increased because they grow bulblets on it, and each one will have probably anywhere from 5 upwards of 20 bulblets. So that multiplies the amount very quickly. Anyhow, here's a double raised bed that has been filled yet. I have a liner down in the bottom. It's a 4 foot by 8 foot raised bed. I have another one over here, which is a 3 foot by 8 foot bed, which will be double, but I haven't brought the other one over because I'm using it for garlic currently. So by the end of the season, this one will be doubled up. I've been doing my mixing of my native soil and coco coir in this row. This is last year's garden row. I've been using this. You see here the 2x4s that are in the ground. This is what was put in place to support the metal beds last season. And I am going to have metal beds out here again. This is just one of them. I'm going to have it in this location here. And I'll have another one the same size on the other side of it over here. And I'll have a walkway through the middle of it. And then there'll be some longer beds on either side. Out here is the project that I've been working on. And this one here will end up being cucumbers. It was going to be tomatoes, but I kind of bounced back and forth. But I started a new area for tomatoes. I started putting soil in this. It'll be about 6 inches deep of this native soil right here, which is clay soil, which by itself isn't very good. But when I put about 4 inches of the mixed soil on top of it as a topsoil, it works just fine, which is this here, which is the coco coir with the soil mixed together, about a 50-50 mix. Those are celery in those pots, these two pots here. I got these maple tree seeds all over the place, but that's what happens in this part of the yard. Anyhow, this row I have planted here. I have red onions in the front. These are red onions, and these are broccoli. It's 4 broccoli and 1 celery in the middle. I figured I'd try that pattern. It's a 36-foot long row that I have here, 3 feet wide. I have that same planting pattern all the way to the end. And this next one over is a little different pattern here. I have yellow onions here. Those ones are red grano. These are yellow grano. These are my sweet peppers in the middle. I have a line of sweet peppers. There's 18 bays all the way down, 2 peppers in each. So I got 36 pepper plants in this row. I got 18 eggplant. These are good companion planting. Onions, peppers, eggplants can all be planted together. I use it for space reasons, and there's supposed to be other benefits, like having the onions help to keep pests away, for example. Got more onions here. These are yellow grano again. These are snow peas that are growing there. So I got a line of snow peas. So I'm going to have to put a little fence right here Well, not little, actually, 5 foot tall fence. But I have some of that on hand, so I'll get that put up. I think I need some new fence posts. So this side here, I got more peppers, another double peppers in this back row, all the way down, another 36 pepper plants. Those are more sweet peppers. And then in the front here, they haven't come up yet because they were planted just a couple days ago. But I have bush beans in the front. Now the bush beans add nitrogen to the soil, which helps the pepper plants. That's one of the reasons why they're a good companion plant with those. Now I have this row right here with 4 foot wide beds, and same thing, 36 feet long. These are going to be doubled up also, but I think this season I'll just have them single height. And what I'll do is I'll grow some root vegetables like rutabagas in them that doesn't need extra long depth. And by next season I'll have the beds put on top. So I'll have a double bed. So that way I can plant daikons, I can plant extra long carrots and parsnips and stuff like that. Now over here is my garlic. This is elephant garlic that I planted in 2020 in a different location, which is over there. And that's where I took my stock from and filled this up. There's about 100 plants in here. And I'm going to have another bed along with it. But I'm going to get started with something. So this is where I started with. This is where I do my composting. All my vegetable scraps go in here when I clean out my garden at the end of the season. I put most of my stuff into these bags, top it off with other things such as grass clippings and anyhow some weeds grow in here, but it won't hurt nothing. Not a big deal. Considering that these are sitting out in the open, there's not many weeds in there at all. This is where I have my garlic stock that I planted in 2020. And I'll be going and culling through that. I just set these up out here yesterday, and I got these beds are 2 foot wide, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 10 footers, so I got 40 feet here, and these are gonna be Kentucky Wonder pole beans. So I got to put up another fence here, 5 foot fence for the beans to grow on. And I don't know if I'll bother planting anything else on the front of it. I could plant more onions if I wanted to, but I'm certainly not going to do that this season, but who knows, maybe next season. Okay, so let's see what else I got going on here. I was out here, heck, I've been out here since midnight actually. I can come out here because I got a city light on my property. I got a telephone pole right in the middle of my property. There it is. I got a city light. I got pretty good lighting out here in the dark corners. I wear a headlight, and that works pretty good when I get out of that lighting area into some of these darker corners in the middle of the nighttime. But this is some of the soil that I had removed from another area, so that's gonna be used in planting beds. It'll be used by itself, and it'll also be mixed with coco coir, whatever it is that I need. That's the native soil. I came through here, I opened this up, and this is going to be another row for planting beds through here. I've been working on taking soil out of here and putting it out to the front where I'm going to grow my cucumbers, but I kind of got sidetracked as I usually do. And I had a bunch of stumps here, which actually they weren't as bad as I thought they were. I got them out of there pretty good. They were more rotten. I thought they were alive, but they really weren't. They were just small trees in and around them. But anyhow, I got sidetracked and I got those taken out. So I had gone in to have a break, and I thought I'd just give an update here in case anybody wanted to see. Here's another row of beds. got two beds that are 10 feet long each. These ones I'm going to put the hot peppers in, my jalapeno peppers. I got two kinds. I got medium size and large size. One's for stuffing, others for pickling. This is more soil that I dug up. Dug that up from behind me. So if I turn around here, this is where this came out of here. And this is going to be another row. This one's going to be 4 feet wide and 20 feet long. There was a fence set up here before, right along where this weed fabric is in the ground right here. Right where that weed fabric is was a fence. So I had planted tomatoes in here last season. I'm going to dig this up 4-foot wide bed into here, and I'm going to be putting my medium-sized tomatoes, Rutgers. So 20 plants. It'll be the same layout as this. 2-foot by 2-foot blocks. And these here are my large tomatoes, my beefsteak tomatoes. So I got a dozen of them here. This is a 12-foot row. And then back here I got my cherry tomatoes, which I got 7 of these. And I planted these here the other night. I was out here a couple of nights at starting at midnight. The weather was nice, and it was just, we're at the point where I think we've passed our last frost. At least I'm certainly hoping that we did. But, you know, there's plenty to do. Now over here is where I dug up some more soil, and I moved the fence forward even more. So I have to cut more soil because I'm going to put another bed up, 2-foot wide bed, the 10-footers, right up against this fence. And I'm going to go out this direction. So I'll put 20 feet worth. 20 feet is going to take me out to here, which is the end of the fence row right here. So this is the end of my 20 feet. So I'll have 20 feet there. Then I'll skip an opening of about 4 feet. And then I'll start here where this trench is and continue going there. I don't know if you can see that 5-foot tall stake out there. It's a tomato stake. I'll go out to there, which is an additional 30 feet in length of a 2-foot bed going through here. And this is where it will end, about here where this stake is. And I'll go out that way all the way to that fence. And I'll have a way to get through with that 4-foot wide path. And then I'm going to add at least one more 10-footer to this section here, so I'll have at least 3 of them. I think 3 of them is a good number, so I'll add another one. But you know, it's all work. It takes time, and it's just starting the garden season, really, as far as warm weather vegetables. So I just thought I'd give an update. Anyone that stopped in, thank you. For some reason, I can't see if there's anybody that came in or not. I haven't used this StreamYard in a while, so I don't know why it doesn't have the same window that it had before. Anyhow, have a great day.